Paolo says, don't you think you have more time to slow play some shoves in regular games? So I know what you mean. And there is you are right to a certain extent. So should we try button limping? I'm going to try button limping. IDI's here. I think the crowd wants to see some button limps. And it's been a while, but we've decided to bring it back, right? Great thing about button limps, unbelievable uniqueness in terms of the post-flop situation. So we're not up against a button defending range versus big blind. We're up against an any 2 card / weaker than any 2 card because they're going to ISO a lot of strong hands, right? So the range is incredibly weak. And the range versus range it's more range versus perceived range. It just depends what they perceive our button limping range to be. Obviously, I have a kind of idea of what we can button limp. But in terms of over-realizing from an EV perspective post-flop, I think there's a lot of room. Whether it's really going to be long-term worth it, I don't know. But I've tried to... It's certainly not... you can certainly make it work in terms of a break-even perspective, which is kind of exciting. And I've got a little bit of data to back up that like maybe button shoving can actually be even slightly better with certain hands. Not the best result here. We were looking to not run into 6s, but we'll take a 3 or 8. Didn't want that. Bobby says, we'll be mad if you made a YouTube video training spins on Flopzilla. I've never seen it. Wouldn't be mad, do you mean to say? Oh, you wouldn't be. Okay, I got it. I wouldn't be. You wouldn't be mad. I understand. Yes. I think there was some... Tell you what, I might suggest that there's a couple of really interesting coaching vids where I went through Flopzilla and used a lot of the features. We could definitely take some of those and put them on the YouTube site for sure. Arxus says Flopzilla is what got me through low stakes 2. Good times. Me as well. Arxus, by the way, is our resident reg speed champion. So if he's vouching for Flopzilla, you've got one of the best vouching for Flopzilla. So that's a good ringing endorsement, I would suggest. Paolo says, would you make the same shoves in standard games as you do in Flash or Ultras? So if I was playing MTTs or something, obviously assuming anti-less ranges, because obviously if there's an anti here, your shoving range would be different. So let's say this was like 0.5, 3.3, and there was 0.5 in the middle, you'd shove a bit wider, right? And you'd expect calls to be a bit wider. It also depends, of course, on MTTs. There's ICM, all kinds of things. I'm well out of practice with ICM stuff, but back in the day, I used to be a big ICM guy with sit and goes. So I could probably try and figure it out again. But yeah, like in this position, you'd want to obviously lean heavily on the guys that are mid-stacked, especially. But yeah. Arxus says, doing good, thanks for asking. In Mexico right now, taking a few weeks off the Canadian winter. You lucky thing, Arxus. That's beautiful. Oh, he's getting some lovely sun, huh? It must be so nice and... I can't believe you're missing out on that lovely January Canada weather. Enjoy, mate. Enjoy. Oh, I bet Arxus is well jealous, you know what I mean? Because it's currently 4 degrees here. 4 degrees and sleet. So that's nice. That's my little pop-up with the toolbar. 4 degrees. There you go. Cambridge, 4 degrees. We'll follow the center off. Paolo says, not MTTs, I mean regulars versus Flash. Yeah. So regulars versus Flash, yes. You don't need to adjust ranges. Muchas says, you didn't stream with the same computer today. I should have streamed with it. I've only got one computer, so... I did log into Party Poker from my laptop. Maybe that did it. You took the computer to play with your GTO bar. Exactly. Oh, no, I haven't done that, have I? Oh, is that why I've been playing really bad today? I've not used the bot computer. See, these things you need to be even careful about. You need to be careful about even joking about it, right? Because someone will be like, admits it. Oh, well. As is, my eyes no longer hurt. Thank you, Isaac, and you are welcome as well. Isaac saved the stream. He did. He deserves the giveaway. He does. Let's, again, have a look. Let's call our ace-queen off. Hopefully win against 7-6 off. Can we get Streamlabs to work? I'm going to try again. Maybe we try Oh, we might have some luck. We'll try a limp here. Alright. What do we want? Dashboard. Dashboard, please. Alright, dashboard's working. Here we go. Dashboard isn't working. Dashboard, I thought dashboard might have been working. I mean, you've got 6 high. Let's give it a bet and see what happens. In theory, we don't want to overbluff, blah, 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 but, I mean... It's minus 10 in Montreal. Can't say I miss it. What temperature have you got right now where you are? Arxos. Let's guess the Arxos temperature swing. I'm going to go for... It's 23 degrees. No. 24, 26 degrees. Not that warm. 18 degrees. So I'm going for a 28 degree swing. Alright, let's call the Jack 5 suited. That's a good flop. Has anyone, by the way, anyone of Poker Go seen the first episode of High Stakes Poker that came out? Could raise this. I mean, it's not a bad hand, although, to be fair, I think calling would make sense as well. Definitely have some, like, we can call any turn, for example. And we definitely want to have some flush draws that are in a cool. Because, like, if we shove all our flush draws, in theory here, we'd actually be weirdly exploitable on a spade. Goes for 4.5 on the turn. Like, we're not really beating value. We could just jam and hope he's got Queen 10, King 10, 10 8, Queen 8. We can also call and fold to river bet, but it's really awkward. So I think I'm just going to jam and just hope he's got a hand like Queen 10, King 10, or flush draw. Got Jack 10. If we call that, I wonder if it goes check, check, river. Probably. It's awkward, right? I mean, we definitely could have. We didn't have to go with it. It's not like a mistake. But one of those awkward spots, huh? 21 degrees right now. Mexico City. Never too hot, never too cold. Quite lovely. 31 degrees warmer than all your mates back home, Arxos. Imagine that, huh? Living the dream. Alright, we were going to just fold the Jack 5, I think. What can we say? Is there another thing? Oh, I tell you, this will be a good... Give away. There you go. Alright, looking for a Jack or a 9 or a 2. No. Paolo says, don't you think you have more time to slow play some shoves in regular games? So I know what you mean. And there is a... You are right to a certain extent. So one of the differences between... So the EV is the EV, right? So shoving is a set EV, and that doesn't change. In theory, let's say you're 20 BB effective, right? Or 15 BB effective, and your opponent shoves first heads up hand against you, okay? And you've got pocket twos. Now in Ultra and a reg speed, the pocket twos is worth the same to call or fold against the same. We'll say the range is the same, okay? But you may want to fold that in a reg speeds if you think you have a big edge. Now in reg speeds you can have bigger edges because the blinds are 3 times as long and there's a lot more poker to be played. And so if you have an edge, you may have, let's say, 30, 40, 50 chips, something along those lines. Playing, let's say you're playing a whale or a recreational heads up, right? And so you don't want to flip in that situation, right? Because flipping's costing you compared to the available edge. Now in Ultra, the available edge is a lot less. And so you may, instead of having 50 chips or something, you may have a 10 chip edge or a 15 chip edge. And so you are actually correct. Whilst the actual EV of the hand doesn't change, there are certain situations which are more prevalent in reg speeds where actually you can edge pass, we would call it. So you make a fold that you know is plus EV, which in theory gets compensated because there'll be higher EV spots immediately in the future, or you anticipate in the future that you can capitalize on. Those higher EV spots are less presented in Ultras because the fact that pretty soon you're going to be 4 BB effective, and there's, right, if the person knows their shuffled ranges, there's no relation to be had. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. You're kind of right, if that makes sense. You're kind of right with clarity, you know. I understand now, I think, where you're coming from. So, if you're playing a reg, let's say Let's say you're playing a reg that was yourself. Let's say you're playing with yourself, Paolo. You're playing with yourself. If you're playing with yourself in an ultra, or you're playing with yourself in a reg speed, your hands are the same. Yeah. Your ranges, it doesn't matter, right? But if there's edge to be had, then you can slightly tighten your corner ranges, slightly tighten your get it in ranges. But it's a very complex debate, and there's a lot of interesting. You can speculate a lot, and you can overdo it, right? You can say, I'm going to just keep edge passing, and actually just end up edge folding away all your edge, right? And you're like, hang on, I thought I had edge here. Like, yeah, but if you just always fold every marginal spot, you kind of don't anymore. Good luck to Gekoli.